If your life feels like you have 50 mental tabs open 24/7 and you don't know how to actually close any of them, so it causes a ton of anxiety and stress and inhibits your ability to ever make progress, where you're stuck in this constant loop of seeing new information but never being able to actually stay consistent with your application of it, watch this video. It's for you. I understand that was a complete mouthful, but this is a real issue. This is a real issue that I like to call analysis paralysis that a lot of us, including myself, fall into. Okay, so today we're going to dive in and we're going to talk about that. We're going to break it down and we're going to talk to you about how I've overcome this and how I actively am combating it every single day. Because it's not just like some random switch that gets flipped in your head. It's a habit that you actively have to sharpen. It's a sword that you have to actively sharpen. This is a skill that you learn. This is not just a flip of the switch mentality, right? It's not just like, oh, my whole life's different now. This is a skill that you have to actively apply regularly, but it can rein in all that anxiety and all of that stress to where you can actually put your mental, I'm organizing your thoughts. I'm not organizing them. You're organizing them. I'm going to help you do that. How do we organize all of these mental tabs? What's the number one way to do this? Well, the first one is to recognize that your anxiety, or a large part of your anxiety, is going to come from this misorganization, right? When it's going to feel like you have less control, especially if you have all these constant ruminating thoughts circulating in your brain, right? You need to be losing weight. You need to get that promotion at your job. You need to find a better car to drive because your car doesn't get good enough gas mileage. You need to, update your resume. You need to take the kids to school. You need to be able to, be present for all these things. You're trying to build a life. You're trying to build something that actually matters to you. You're trying to build, what you've wanted this whole time. Success for yourself, be able to provide for somebody else and your family and build a happy family life, right? If you're watching this, that's why you're here, right? It's because you want to be a success. And you can do that. You're just getting in your own way because you don't think you deserve enough respect to take yourself seriously. But if you don't do it, you're never going to get to where you want to go. All right? All this anxiousness, all these thoughts that you can never fully organize, it stems from different types, okay? I like to call them departments. Every thought you have, everything that you stress over, every problem that you face can be organized and labeled, okay? So that's the first step in actively thinking like a CEO and running your brain like a business, which sounds super unfun. It's not. It's just how I like to think about it. You can compartmentalize it however you want to. I call it a business. What do businesses have? Businesses have departments. So there's the clothing department, and then there's the marketing department. There's a sales department. All of those are different offices in the same building. What we want to do is take your brain, your building, your business, from a giant mess of people running around, things are on fire, somebody's naked, somebody's screaming in the car, to a organized, functioning, well-oiled machine where the departments do what they're supposed to do, and you have everything operating at a smooth, efficient pace. There are 5 key mental business departments that I like to organize most of my thoughts into. And it breaks down to the 3 things that most people want to improve: their health, their wealth, and their relationships and knowledge. Okay? So I usually break it down into 5. So I'll say health, money, wealth, work/career, because those 2 things can be very different, home life and home responsibility, and social. So this includes family, this includes friends, this includes dating, stuff like that. Most of your issues are going to be tied to one of those 5 things. Not all of them, but pretty much all of them. So what I want you to do first, the first step that I want you to take is, what are my 5 departments? It's those 5. What am I already doing within those departments? Because those departments aren't just random labels. You're already doing things actively. You already have systems set up into each of those departments. So let's use health as an example, okay? What is a part of your health? Your hygiene. What's a very easy system that you're already doing for your health department? Brushing your teeth. You probably don't think about brushing your teeth. You probably don't stress about brushing your teeth. Brushing your teeth is just a habit. And you can tell it's a habit because you do it without thinking about it. Another word for habit is system. So you now have a system, a machine in your health department that's already running really efficiently. So you have your health department, and within that health department, you have one running operation, one running machine, your brushing teeth system, which is just get up and brush your freaking teeth. That's an example of a system. It's incredibly simple, but it is a system. It's a habit in your life that already exists. So how can we apply more of those systems to run a more efficient life? Because ultimately what this process is going to look like is taking your problems, organizing them into one of the 5 categories, departments, and applying them one at a time to one of these departments and building a system around it. Okay? This whole operation is not to eliminate your problems. You cannot control a lot of the problems that you're going to be facing. This is not to eliminate your problems. This is to enhance your ability to get better at solving them. This is to make you sharper. This is to make you more of an executor and make you more dangerous, because you've got it in you. I know you do. I have no issue that you have what it takes to get all the success that you want. We just got to think the right way. We just got to get you organized to where you have the bandwidth to go be great. We got to clear up some of the mental clutter that's in your head. So once you have your 5 systems laid out and you have an example for these systems. So we talked about the brushing teeth for a health one. What's a work example, right? Oh, you always get there 10 minutes early. That's a system, right? That's a system that's designed to increase your success, right? It's a very easy system for you to stick to. Once you have those examples out, that's on one sheet of paper. If you're not writing this down, what are you doing? Okay? So I want you to have your 5 systems written down, your 5 departments, your 5 departments here, and then list example systems for each one. Just do one to get the gist, right? It was health, money, work, home, and social, okay? Once you have those down, get another piece of paper and list out every problem that you're facing and all of your stressors. That's probably going to be a pretty long list. Okay? Write them all out. Really sit there and think about it for about 20 minutes. What are all the major things stressing me out right now? And write down why, maybe. Okay, so once you have your brain dump, you have your problems list. Once this problems list is established, you whip out all of your departments. Here's what you do. You organize your problems into these departments. Okay? So let's say my mile time is too slow. I don't like how slow I run. Wait, what would that fall into? Health. Okay, easy. I don't really like my relationship with my boss. What department does that fall into? Okay, well, that's probably the career, the work department. Got it. You get the idea. Oh, I don't like the amount of monthly income I'm getting on a month-to-month basis, and I don't know how to make more. Okay, that's going to go into your money, right? You get the idea now. You have to organize all of your problems into 5 of these buckets. Once you do this, I guarantee you, your problems are going to feel smaller and your problems are going to feel much more manageable to actually solve. There's a quote somewhere that I'm going to paraphrase. I can try to pull it up on the screen. It's effectively saying a problem written is a problem halved. That's Kydland's law, I believe. If I pull that and I'm actually correct, I'm pretty impressed by that. Regardless, a problem written is a problem halved. So if you can write down your problems physically with pen and paper, do not type it on your phone. You type enough shit on your phone. Pen and paper. We're going analog here today. Write down what problem you're facing. It's going to feel smaller and more manageable and more in control. Okay? You have all of your problems listed in these 5 mental departments. Now, here comes the fun part. Once you have this list, pick the number one first thing you want to solve. Pick one. Okay, you could have 36, or you could have 360. I don't care. Pick one problem that has been stressing you out. Okay, it's probably going to be a pretty big one if it's at the top of the list. All right. So we need to find a way to break down this one problem into a daily habit that can turn into a system. All right. So let me kind of walk you through what that could look like. Okay. So let's use one that we haven't talked about today. I'm going to come up with one on the fly so we can just show the process in a different way. We've got, okay, here we go. Let's say you feel like you aren't saving enough money every month. You feel like your margin between the amount you spend and the amount that you make is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and you want to be able to put more money away for a rainy day to invest or whatever, okay? You want to save more money. Let's make that the big issue. That's my number one issue right now. Let's just say it is. Hopefully it isn't, but let's just say it is for the sake of the example. I've been using a lot of health examples recently. I want to be able to show how this applies in other places. Problem. I want to save more money. Okay, what department does that belong to? Obviously, your money, your financial health. Okay, that's the money department. Once we've identified that that's a money department issue, we have to look in the money department. What other systems am I already doing every day to help my money department? Okay, what systems do you have every month? An example is setting up auto pay on one of your bills, right? When you pay your water bill, it might just be on an automatic payment, okay? There's not much effort that's required out of you to pay your water bill because you've set up the system to have it automatically come out of your account every single day. You don't do much. It's still a system. Systems can be incredibly simple. Why would you choose to do the auto pay versus paying it by yourself or paying it manually every month? Paying it manually every month is going to waste more of your time. You have an easy system that auto pays it and it's taken care of. That is helping your financial health. So you already have some of these systems in place. You just don't think about them that way because you never give yourself enough credit for the amount of shit that you're actually doing. Anyway, I'm beefing with you today. Once you look at the systems you have in your money department, when you're like, okay, what existing systems am I doing that can I change or improve to the point where I can actually start saving some money? Okay, do I need to build a new system or do I need to change an existing system that's already existing? So if I wanted to save more money, I look at my grocery shopping system. Okay, how am I going grocery shopping every week? Okay, am I going every week? Am I going bi-weekly? What stores am I shopping at? What extra stuff am I purchasing that isn't an absolute necessity, right? I don't know about you guys. Ashley is a sucker for little treat syndrome. And if you've never heard of little treat syndrome, it's pretty freaking simple. Every time I take this girl anywhere, even if we're just going to Walmart, she's gonna ask for a little treat. It's just how it works right now. Probably never gonna fucking change. I might be doomed. All right? That is probably something that's hurting your grocery shopping system and making it less efficient. Your grocery shopping system just could be you go every Sunday with your wife. Or you just go every Sunday. You don't have to have a wife. You can just go by yourself. Or you go over Saturday. You go over Sunday. You go in the morning. You go at night. You go first thing. You go to these stores first, right? A system that I do is I always go to Aldi before I go to Walmart or I go to Meijer. I go to Meijer. Usually what I'll do is I'll go on Saturday mornings with Ashley. We'll go to Aldi first. We'll get all of our main produce and our meats. And then we'll go to Meijer and mop up the rest of the stuff that Aldi didn't have. I am able to save money that way because Aldi is the cheapest grocery store around. And they have good quality stuff. So my main bulk of my groceries is going to be shopped as smartly as I possibly can at the cheapest grocery store. Then I go to Meijer and buy the rest. That's a system. Again, it's only one or two layers. It's not very complex, but that is still a system. So I know I'm saying the word system a lot, but you got to see the hierarchy here. You got the departments and you got the systems. Your life runs on systems. And if you can make your systems really, 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 really good and really, 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 really efficient, your life gets easier. It's like building a business. Okay? So you recognize, okay, an easy way that I can get to solving my problem is I can change an existing system in my life already. Okay, so my grocery shopping system. I should probably start shopping at cheaper grocery stores. I should probably start looking for more coupons, and maybe I'd create a habit where before I go grocery shopping, something I'm already doing, I just check the Meijer app first, or I check for any coupons I can find, right? You're already going shopping every week. Maybe if you just add one extra change to that already existing habit of, oh, let me look for some coupons first. You might be saving yourself $50 a week by doing that, by doing something you're already doing. You're already going grocery shopping every day. Just while you're doing it, pull up and look for some coupons. That's an example of changing an existing system. That's not going to take much skin out of the game for you. That's not going to change your life too much, but it's also not going to feel like any work. That's where the battles are won, okay? You can go do all the miraculous things. I'm telling you right now, the way your life actually changes to progress exponentially faster than everyone else around you is not swinging for the fucking fences all the time. It's winning the small baby battles every single time. It's saving the extra money on the groceries every single time you go for several years so you can stack up fucking 10, 20, 30 grand in the bank eventually, right? That is where you beat people. You are not going to beat people on these singular bigger swings. Those are more of a personal victory than anything else. You become exceptional by showing up a little bit better every day and making everything you do just a little bit more efficient and working on the stuff that you're already doing. How can I be doing it better? You can apply this exact process to every part, okay? Health. I don't like how big my belly is right now. Okay, I should probably cut down on my calorie consumption. What's something that I'm already doing? Okay, I'm already going to the grocery store. All right, let's use a different example. Okay, because of my job, I'm on the road a lot, and I have to eat out at least a few times a week. That is hurting. That is a system that I have in my health because I'm eating that I have to do. So I'm already eating out. That's already a part of my system. How can I improve something I'm already doing to make my life better? What's one tiny little course adjustment I can make? Okay, let me try going to places like Chick-fil-A or Chipotle. Those are two of the best places for fat loss options. They have a lot of grilled chicken and they have a lot of low-calorie options for me on a regular basis, right? I'm going to have better luck going somewhere there compared to going somewhere like McDonald's or Popeyes or Raising Cane's. If I go to places like that, I'm going to have more low-calorie, high-protein options. So if I do that 3 times a week instead of doing something completely random, and I use other food swaps like going grilled chicken or going a lower-calorie condiment or adding a lot of vegetables and fruit to my meal, lots of different ways to incorporate food swaps so I can get to my end goal, which is I don't like how big my belly is. I need to lose fat. Maybe just looking at some small food swap tweaks I can make to help me lose that belly fat over time. It's not fucking liposuction. Like I said, it's the daily battles. If you can win those daily battles just a little bit better every time, you're going to be optimizing your life. That's all this is. It's making what you're not going to change your entire lifestyle. If you're used to getting up at 7 a.m., having a cup of coffee, getting ready for work, and going to work every day, and you've been doing that for years, it's going to feel super fucking uncomfortable if you try to change your life immediately by getting up at 4 a.m. and trying to cram a whole fucking morning routine in and then try to go to your job. You're going to feel really good about it for about a week, and you are going to fucking quit because you are going to go back to what your habits are, your actual systems. So just look at what you're already doing and what's one way I can improve it. We'll use one final example because I know I'm kind of getting more uppity. I wanted this to be a little bit more organized, but I think I've displayed the point. I'm going to try to draw out some images and have them on the video to kind of explain more of what I'm talking about. But we'll use one final example, okay? Let's use one more example. Let's say a big problem in your life is that you feel like you're constantly stuck saying yes to everybody in your life, right? You're saying, yes, I'll go fix that. Yes, I'll go talk to that person for you. Yes, I'll do this, okay? Maybe you're having a hard time choosing you. Maybe you're having a hard time with that. So you feel like you're being overworked or just having a hard time saying no to people, okay? That's a problem. What department do we put that in? That's going to go into the social department, okay? Within that social department, I have to look at what am I already doing to improve my social life and my relationships. Okay, I'm always being very kind to people, which is good. All right, that's a system I'm always doing every day. Like a system for me personally. I always try to give a compliment to somebody new that I speak to. And just one one compliment to every new person I speak to. I always try to create one deeper layer of conversation when I'm making small talk with somebody, right? I'll give you an example. I was at Meijer, or no, I was at Walmart the other day, and I was talking to somebody who was checking me out. And we were just making normal back and forth conversation about whatever we were talking about. And then I asked her about, she was drinking Dr. Pepper. So I was talking to her about the Dr. Pepper. I was like, hey, is that flavor good? She was doing the cherry one. And I was like, is that really good? That's just one extra layer to the conversation, right? But by doing that, I got a compliment. She gave me a compliment when we finished talking to each other. That made me feel good. All because I want the extra layer to just do one extra comment, one extra compliment, one extra layer of conversation to make me better at small talk. That's a system that I have, okay? So we'll just call it the one extra layer, one extra compliment system, okay? So that's a system I'm already doing within my social department, okay? Within that's an example of a system. So how can I change my social department when I talk to people, especially loved ones, so where I can learn to say no a bit more firm? Okay. So within my social department, I still do that deeper layer of conversation with my friends, my family, my girlfriend, etc. Okay. If I'm having a hard time saying no to my family, when I speak to them, I should maybe display more of who I am in these extra deeper layers, right? Maybe say, oh, having a normal conversation with your spouse, say, hey, yeah, I'm doing all this. When she asks you a question, give her a little bit of a deeper answer. Give that deeper layer of conversation. Just one step is all it takes. Just take the conversation one step further. Go just a half step deeper. That's all you need to do. So, yeah, blah, blah. So if she asks me, hey, how was your day? Instead of saying, fine. What is that? That's auto talk. That's auto talk. That's not even conscious speaking. That's just you're programmed to say that. Oh, it was good. It was fine. It was chill. Right? She walks in. She asks me how work was. I can say, it's good, but I'm feeling a bit more stressed about this certain situation. And just say that. What does that do? That shows her that I am comfortable voicing my concerns, and she now has a better understanding of one of the problems I'm facing. What is that going to change? She is now going to be aware that I have a lot on my plate. So when she's going to be more understanding, and when she asks something of me, I can say no, and she'll understand. If you have a hard time having people say no to you, or you saying no to people, if you have a hard time saying no to others asking things from you, make them understand your situation just a bit better. Don't complain, don't bitch and moan to other people. Legitimately sit down and explain to them, just in small bits and pieces, some of the stuff you're struggling with. If they think you're perfect, if they think you're Mr. Perfect, because that's what you're trying to make them think, you're trying to make everybody think around you that you have no flaws. You are trying to make everyone around you think that you are fucking perfect. Newsflash, you're not. If you break down that facade and actually open up to people with some of the shit you're talking about, they're going to have a better understanding of what you're going through, so they're going to be more respectful to your space when you tell them no. Hey, Noah, I really need some help with this next week. Would you mind coming down and giving me 2 hours of your time? I'd love to, but I've got this project that I've been working on. I can't, but best of luck. Let me know if there's any, let me know how it goes. That is an example of saying no. But if I've already spoken to him about some of the stuff that I'm working on, he'll be like, you know what? That's right. Noah has been working on that. That's understandable. That person isn't going to feel hurt by me saying no. And guess what? If somebody gets hurt by you saying no, reevaluate why the fuck you're there in your life in the first place. If they're getting that soft, that they're that mad at you for saying no to them once, really evaluate that relationship, brother. That might not be somebody that is worth being in your life, especially if you've got a legitimate reason to not help them. If you got a reason to, go for it. But if you have a hard time saying no, you can never make space for yourself. You got to let other people know the shit you got going on, and if they're not okay with that, they might not deserve to be in your life. That's a system too, brother. The social part, knowing how to cut people out is a piece of the puzzle too. That is a whole nother system for a whole nother day. I'm going to be honest with you. Most people are so scared of confrontation that they don't even feel like they can even have a department around that. Maybe if you weren't so scared of confrontation and slight discomfort, maybe you'd be able to have a lot easier time communicating your wants and needs and getting more from what you want. Sorry. Okay, now, I'm saying this because I fucking went through this entire transformation. I'm still working on it. I used to be a fucking doormat, dude. I'm trying to help you because I was a doormat. Oh my God, dude. I would say yes to everybody. I would be at everyone else's beck and call. And what did that leave me? With nobody there to actually help me when I needed it most. Again, I did have people, but the people that I was sacrificing so deeply for never returned it. Never found it in return. Okay? I never received it in return. So, wrapping all these concepts up, I kind of got really off the rails there. Wrapping all these concepts up, what does this process look like? Okay? It looks like a problem, a possible solution, and then putting that into a department. Okay? So I'm at the problem, I identify what department it belongs to, and then I apply it to an existing system that I already have. Okay? There's social, there's home, there's work, there's money, there's health. All right? A system is honestly hard to find sometimes. Like another system you have is every time you get in the car, you turn your keys, you put your seatbelt on. You know why it's a system? Because you never think about doing it. You just subconsciously do it. That is the definition of a system. And you've got them all around you. You just don't realize it because you've been doing them for so long. They're kind of overly obvious. You'll know that you've really solved one of these problems with the improvement of a habit when it's actually becoming a habit. You'll know it's a habit when you never think about doing it. You know a habit is stuck when you do it without thinking. Once you're getting it to the point where you don't even think about it, you don't even think about doing it or trying to get it done, and it just happens on autopilot, then, my friend, you can move on to the next problem, and it's time to restart the process all over again. Just go down to another problem on that list and fix the damn thing. This is how you organize your life, using these departments, writing out the problems and making them smaller and then fitting them into the place where they belong and finding daily ways to slowly shave these problems down until they're not problems anymore. Death by 1,000 cuts. A bad habit dies by 1,000 cuts, not by one big axe. I'm writing that one down. That was a good one. That's what I have for you today, guys. I really hope my explanations made sense. I know this is kind of an interesting, different sort of style of video. It's a deep, complex topic, but I hope my ramblings made sense because I think I did. I'm going to provide a couple of visuals for this one so you guys can see more of what I'm talking about and understand the processes that I'm trying to display with my words. If you guys dig the visuals and the explanations of it, let me know and I'll keep doing it. I do like the whole whiteboard style. I'm thinking about just hopping on a Loom and recording 45 minutes, however long I talk on these, and putting on a Loom and just screen recording everything. A Loom is just a screen recording software, sorry. But yeah, let me know if you guys like the visuals because I'll start adding them in a little bit more. So we've been making some changes around the team here at Big Fella, so I'm kind of in between YouTube assistants right now, which is totally fine. I've been doing it myself and I've been enjoying it. So that's really not that much effort. I like talking about it. So, all right, y'all, that's what I have for you today. I would love to hear some of your guys' feedback on this. I would love to hear some of your guys' problems that you're trying to improve. If any of you, I'm sure a few of you would do it silently, but I encourage anybody to go through this process where you find your departments, list out your problems, and attack the first one. If you have a hard time attacking that first problem and where to face it, talk to me, DM me, shoot me an email. All my information is going to be in the description. I would love to be able to walk you through how to do this because this is genuinely the day-by-day how to change your fucking life. And I know the people that will stick through and watch through the end and actually apply it, or their life is literally going to change. I know it for a certainty. And that's the coolest part. Because I've lived this entire process. So I really enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys did too. And if you guys ever have any specific topics you want me to cover on some of these podcasts, I'm trying to bump this up to a twice a week kind of thing again. And I would love to have, more where I can just ready, aim, fire and talk to people in the, cover topics that people in the comments want to speak on. So yeah, let's have a great day. Like, subscribe, send this video to a friend, take notes, and let me know what you thought about this or any ways I can improve this system and how I explain and teach this concept, because I love teaching this stuff to people. So hope you have a wonderful day. And if anybody needs a cat, let me know, because Milo was up here licking the monitor and the wall before I started recording. I think he's broken, so I don't know what's going on with that. But hope you guys all have a fantastic day. Keep it simple, big fella.